Dacha How, Wosha Michael Larson, Wosha Neiman Depungu. Hello, everybody. This is Mike Larson from BBC IML, and this is A Moment with Mike. Apparently lost service here for a second, but back on now again. But I was talking about the warm, humid day we have here today and how I had a really good day today. I've connected with some really powerful people in the industry, and I made an impression on them yesterday in a podcast I did with them. But so I've been working all day on that. Very, very warm, humid day here today. But Chad Lennox, and I see he's on now, last night said he gave me an idea for a live. He wanted to know why people give up on their dreams or commitments and their goals. And first of all, are they your dreams or goals? Are you adopting somebody else's? So you don't really have your heart into them. Is it something that looked cool that somebody else had, so you just determined that's why you wanted it? Or was it something that really came from your heart, something that you were really interested in, that you had passionate about? The other thing is, are you writing them down? So think about this. Have you ever gone to the grocery store and not created a list? And then when you get back home, you think of 3 or 4 things that you forgot to buy? Yeah, you probably did that. So you made a list next time, and then you went to the grocery store, and you found what you needed off your list, and you went on to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. And then you came back, and you had everything that you went out for. And maybe you even picked up a couple of things you didn't expect because they looked kind of cool, or looked kind of good. So why in the world would we make a list to go to the grocery store knowing that's what we need to make sure we get everything we anticipated getting, but yet we're not going to make a list of our dreams and goals that we can check every day to make sure that we're following along with them? So the first thing about dreams and goals, yeah, there's a lot of people that give up on their dreams and goals, and that's why they don't ever make a list of them, first of all. And this is what I would recommend. This is something I do with one of my trainings, with my dreams and goals training, is the first thing you have to do is you have to take 15 minutes, clear your mind, completely clear your mind, and don't think about what you believe you can achieve, because then you're not going to have your heart into it. You need to put your heart into it. So forget about what you believe you can achieve. Dream wildly. And write down everything for that 15 minutes that you can think of, the wildest dreams you can possibly think of, because then you're going to have your heart into it. And you got to have your heart into it. So write down all that stuff and figure out exactly what you need. Then we got to have a timeline for them, because you need to be able to achieve them. And if you give yourself an unrealistic timeline, you don't know where you go. If you don't give yourself any timeline at all, you're never going to start. And we have to start someplace with them. So you have to figure out a timeline, take the biggest dream, the biggest goal, the furthest one out first, and figure out how long it's going to take you to get there. And then the next one on the list, and figure out how long you believe it's going to take you. And then you back off from each one of those in time. What am I going to say? It's 10 years out. What am I going to achieve in 5 years? What am I going to achieve in 2.5 years? What am I going to achieve in a year, 6 months, a month, a week, a day? By the hour if necessary, but you have to give yourself things how to achieve it, and you have to figure out the people that you need around you to make it happen, the skills you're going to need, and all of that stuff. You have to think of every possibility of what you need, and you have to put it into that timeline and how you're going to take care of it, and that's when it comes to life in you. And then you have to make sure you use neuro-linguistic programming, easy for me to say, but NLP is what we call it. We have to visualize. So our conscious mind is very small. We visualize on one little thing like that. But our subconscious mind can focus on everything. And it's attached to universal law, to energy. Everything in the universe is created by energy. And your subconscious mind works with energy as long as you have emotion. So when you put enough emotion into it for a long enough period of time, and we're talking 21 days or greater, when you're doing it constantly with emotion, your subconscious mind will latch onto that. And it'll start to, and then it gets connected with the energy in the universe, and it starts to draw things to you, attracts things to you. And that's why you have to have a list, because you're paying attention every day to what's on your list and what you need. So when something familiar comes into your life, and you're trying to figure out why that came into your life, now you've got it on your list and why it's there. And if it progresses you towards your dream, attach yourself to whatever that is that's coming to you. Is it people? Is it a social situation? Is it an activity? Is it a product? Is it anything that you need? Is it money? Is it an opportunity? But what you have to do is you have to look at that opportunity or whatever it is, and if it progresses you towards your dreams and goals, then you're going to get there. And that's the mistake we make. Even if we make dreams and goals, we see something comes to us and we disregard it because we don't realize where that's coming from. And that's why so many people don't actually achieve their dreams and goals. But in order for that to happen, we also have to visualize. We have to think about what it would feel like when we actually accomplish that dream and goal. What would it look like? What would it sound like? What would it smell like? And funny, what would it taste like? What would it feel like to touch it? How would that feeling be when we actually achieved it? You have to visualize this stuff constantly. And it's the emotion you put into that that gets your subconscious mind connected with it. And then your subconscious mind, through the law of attraction, starts to attract things to you. But there's lots of different laws in the 12 universal laws. Another one is everything will come back to you. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So you have to have action. You have to do something to make something come back to you. And then you have to compensate. So let's just say that you have $1 million dream. I want to make $1 million a year. That's going to take a lot of compensation because you have to keep the universe balanced. So you have to give a lot to get a lot. When you've put enough compensation into it, and this is why people give up on their dreams, you got to get 90% of the way there, and it just seems like they've never gotten there, and they've almost got there, and then they give up. Well, they never got enough compensation in to have it come back to them. So you got to think about what you need to compensate. It's going to take a lot of compensation to get to that dream. And that's so, so very important. And you have to constantly do this. And that's why people don't get there. And because they're not committed to it is the same reason that people with somebody else's dreams, their heart's never attached to it. And they can never get the feeling about it. And they lose commitment for that reason because they never really had their heart into it. It's so important. You have to have passion. You have to understand who you are and what brings you passion. And you have to represent things that you need for your dreams and goals within that passion circle that you have within yourself to keep yourself driven towards that. If you're leading people, you need to understand this. You need to help people find their dreams and goals so they can find their passion and tie it to whatever it is, the work you're doing. That this is what they want out of life, their dreams and goals, and you have to help them visualize it, and you have to help them find it and feel it, and then they have to recognize the position they're at and what you're leading them through as the vehicle that'll get them to their dreams and goals, and that's part of universal law. There's a reason why that person came to work with you, because you guys were in frequency. There was something you needed, there was something they needed. You both had dreams and goals, and they connected somehow. And that universal law, that attraction, brought the two of you together. And there's other laws about universal law also. There's going to be challenges all the way through trying to get your dreams and goals. The challenges are necessary. It's how the universe balances everything out. The universe wants to know, God's law, God wants us to know that we're ready for that dream or goal. Because if we're not ready, we're not going to understand, we're not going to be able to take advantage of it. So the challenges get us ready to be able to accept the accomplishment of that dream or goal. But here's the biggest lesson you could ever learn from any of this. The dreams and goals you have to have that passion to drive your life. But it isn't the dream or goal that's important. It's what you become to make the dream or goal happen that's the most important part of all of this. $1 million dream. To make $1 million in a year. This is what Jim Rohn said that I always resonated with me. To make $1 million a year is enough of a dream to make any accountant happy. But it isn't that that's important. It's not the money that's important. It's what you have to become to earn the money that makes it important. And that's what you look at. See, people get to their dreams and goals. First of all, if you put a timeline on it and you don't get there, that's not a disaster. You have to look back at all that you achieved and all you've grown, and you have to be thankful for what you achieved and how you grew. And then you push it out and you give yourself some steps. And during these steps, you have to give yourself rewards. You're not going to get off of it if you keep giving yourself reward. Give yourself a step, reward yourself for the step. What that does, that creates a chemical reaction in your brain, a neurological connection. And your brain says, ooh, I kind of like this reward I get. And now you start to believe a little bit more. So the next step is a little bit bigger. You get through that because you like that reward at the end. You give yourself another reward. Now you're starting to see yourself accomplish, and your belief system goes up. If you had that dream of making $1 million a year, and you're only making $30,000 a year, you might not think you can make it. But if you give yourself a lot of little steps, and you build your belief system along the way with accomplishments and rewards, then all of a sudden you start to believe and you get closer and closer. And you're going to have to change to be able to make $1 million. But you can't ask yourself for change until you've created momentum and you have the belief that you can do it. That's why you break things into small steps. This is why people don't achieve their goals, because they don't believe they can. You have to break it down into something you believe. And you have to focus on afterwards what you've achieved and how you've grown, and reward yourself for that. So that was a great question, Chad. I see you're on tonight. I see Lynn Noth is on, and Lynn Larson is on. I'm sure there's other people here. I saw a couple of likes that the people aren't showing up here, but I appreciate you all being on tonight, and have a super fantastic evening. If you like this information I gave you, look me up on Inspired Motivated Leadership. We have other lessons and stuff. I've got all the videos that are available, and we have programs that are available also. So if you like what you hear here, continue to follow me. I do this every night at 7 p.m. The last couple of nights I've been a couple of minutes late because I've had so many other things going on in my life. I'm trying to juggle it all a little bit, but if you like what you hear here, keep following me, and there's other things we've got going on. And if you have an idea of something you'd like me to talk about, email me at mike@inspiredmotivatedleadership.com, or you can text me on Messenger, or you can put a message right on here. I love to get likes, and I love to get some comments on here. This algorithm of Facebook, I keep telling everybody, this is my gift in life, and I want to give this gift to other people. That's what we're here for. That's what we're created for. Everybody has a gift. Everybody has something to give. And if you're not giving it, you're wasting your gift. That's not what God put us on this earth for. He put us on this earth to share with other people, to help people grow, to add value to people. And help me by doing that, by giving me likes and giving me comments. And that's going to make Facebook notice me, and I can get to more people and help more people. I'd really appreciate that. But if you have something you'd like me to go over, like I said, send me an email, text me. But have a super fantastic evening. I hope this finds you well, and we will talk soon.